So if you've noticed by this point, I've probably told you I want you to hold on to something whenever you're doing a single leg exercise, like a lunge, for example. Now it's time to upgrade from holding on to something, let's say a couch, a counter, and doing a lunge, to using a yoga stick. There are times where I want you to do the exercise while you're holding on to something, specifically because when you have to balance, it changes the exercise up on your muscles. So you have two muscle groups. You have your movers and you have your stabilizers. When you are holding onto something, even with a yoga stick, for example, your stabilizing muscles, the muscles that help you not lose your balance, don't have to work as hard. So when your stabilizing muscles, the ones that keep your balance, don't have to work as hard, now the movers, the ones that actually do the exercise, can work harder to do the movement. So there's pros and cons to both types of exercise. When you are more stable, you're using less balance, but you're strengthening more the bigger muscle groups. When you are less stable, you have to work more on your balance. Your big muscles have to work a little bit less, but your stabilizing muscles have to work more. Stabilizing muscles are muscles around your hips, around your ankles, around the shoulder, depending on the exercise that you're doing. They both have a time and a place. One is not better than the other. It just depends on what you're training. Because I want you to focus on your balance more on certain times, or because I want you to work more on your stabilizers, I'm going to ask you to use a yoga stick. So this is a time where it's going to be an in-between of both worlds, where you're strengthening a little bit of your stabilizers, but more focused on the movers before we get into exercise without any support. Yoga stick is a great in-between, and you're going to use this anytime you're doing a single leg exercise like a Bulgarian split squat or a lunge or a RDL. Anytime you're doing a single leg exercise, you're using a yoga stick if I have attached this exercise or this video to your exercise. How in the world do you use this? Flat part goes to the bottom, obviously, but whatever leg is in front, you're going to have the stick on the opposite side. If you have the stick on the same side, you're not going to have as much balance as you would on the opposite side. Or in other words, if it helps you better, on the same side of the leg that's going back. So my left leg is going to go back, then it's on the same side as my left leg. Whatever works best for your brain to remember. And that's how you use a yoga stick to help you get into that in-between stage of having less support, but still strengthening your stabilizers and your big movers like your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings all at the same time. Because then the next step is going to be doing the exercise without any support. But I don't want as much wobbly throughout this time, because if we're wobbly and we're losing our balance, then you're not getting the strength that you need, and you also have a greater risk of injury. So let's strengthen the muscles in the joints properly, and let's start using that yoga stick.